The Chiappa 22 Buntline is a tribute to the original Colt Buntline, but in a smaller and more popular caliber, 22 long rifle and 22 Magnum. Let me address some key features. 22 caliber chambering, which is widely regarded as one of the most versatile and cost-effective calibers for recreational shooting. It's easy to handle and has minimum recoil, making it an ideal choice for both beginners and experienced shooters alike. Its availability and affordability makes the 22 long rifle cartridge a favorite among those who want to shoot frequently without breaking the bank. The additional cylinder for 22 Magnum expands the possibilities of using the firearm beyond just plinking, and that I leave up to your imagination. The single-action design means that the hammer must be manually cocked before each shot, offering a more traditional shooting experience reminiscent of classic cowboy revolvers. While this requires a bit more effort between shots, there is some satisfaction in rolling that hammer to the rear for each shot taken. The 12-inch barrel provides a very long sight picture for a handgun. While the balance of the revolver is thrown way off, and maneuverability is highly in question, barrel length alone says you should be able to make precise shots on near or far targets, making it ideal for plinking and small game hunting. The tall, fixed front blade sight aids in quick target acquisition, as long as your target is not black or very dark, but it does nestle nicely into the very shallow notch of the fully adjustable for windage and elevation rear sight that would be considered a target sight. The alloy frame and steel-lined alloy cylinder ensures that the revolver is both lightweight and durable. This combination offers a strong and resilient frame while keeping the overall weight manageable at just 2 pounds. The steel barrel liner ensures consistent accuracy while providing the durability needed for repeated use. The black Misticoat finish not only gives the revolver a modern, sleek appearance, but also provides extra durability against wear and corrosion. This finish is especially beneficial if you plan to use the revolver outdoors in various weather conditions. The black polymer grips are comfortable to hold, providing a secure and non-slip grip during shooting. While not as traditional as wood grips, they are durable, functional, and well suited for the revolver's purpose. This revolver features a manual extraction system, which does require you to manually eject spent cartridges after the cylinder is empty. While this adds an extra step, it is in keeping with the traditional revolver design. The single-action trigger offers a crisp pull, and once you get used to the feel, you'll find it easy to place shots accurately. Trigger pull on this revolver came in at 1 pound, 8.2 ounces, with a 5-pull average. The trigger pull exhibits a slight drag, but that could be due to the lack of lubrication on surfaces that have not yet been smoothed out by firing. The hammer on this specimen, while in the traditional single-action Colt Western style, has a definite giddy-up and whoa. It giddies up when the hammer begins to fall, but slows its descent right about where the second notch is located when the hammer is slowly released by hand. This is indicative of the hammer rubbing against the frame, and wear mark can be seen on the side of the hammer. Normally, I would get the polishing sticks out and clean up the surface area of the frame or hammer, or both. Since this is not my firearm, just some oiling might temporarily free up the drag point enough to do a range evaluation. I'll let you know when that time comes. The firing pin is internal to the frame and not mounted on the hammer. The cylinder holds 6 rounds of 22 short or long rifle, while the 22 WMR cylinder allows the loading of up to 6 rounds of 22 Magnum ammunition. Both cylinders are clearly marked for what type of 22 ammunition, standard or Magnum, is used. Both cylinders are substantial, with in-between chamber material. I suppose Chiappa could have made 10-round cylinders, but that would take away from the Old West motive, don't you think? The cylinder to forcing cone gap on the specimen is 7/1000ths of an inch, with both standard and magnum cylinders installed, 1/1000th of an inch less than the 8/1000ths of an inch maximum industry cylinder to forcing cone gap. I do expect there to be side flash, and it should be obvious that one should keep all fingers away from the flash cap to prevent injury to one's hands. Slight end-to-end cylinder play is felt, as is slight side play at full cock. Some side play is to be expected. End-to-end play, however, is never really wanted, but there is not enough to be concerned about. Aside from keeping the trigger finger away from the trigger when the firearm is loaded and cocked, there are no safeties on this revolver. There is no quarter cock, or what I call the less than safe hammer position, only half cock and full cock. The half cock notch is not a safety, and should be used only for loading and unloading of the firearm. Attempting to pull the trigger when the hammer is half cocked must be avoided, as this can damage the revolver. Like old-time single-action revolvers, and for safety's sake, only load 1, skip 1, load 4, close the loading gate, pull the hammer to the full cock position, and while using the finger pinch method, slowly lower the hammer to its rest position on an empty chamber. The plastic black grips provide a solid grip during firing, but without the traditional charm as wooden grips. They do, however, offer a firm hold, especially when shooting for extended periods. Weighing only 2 pounds, the revolver is light enough for casual plinking, but also substantial enough to offer a stable shooting platform. The .22 long rifle round is known for its minimal recoil, making the Chiappa Buntline an excellent choice for new shooters who are learning how to control a revolver. .22 Magnum ammunition steps up to .22 game a tad, with added velocity and added felt recoil. Since the recoil of both is quite minimal, control should not be an issue. Even though the single-action trigger requires cocking the hammer before each shot, the light recoil and smooth trigger action makes the revolver easy to control and enjoyable to shoot. If you must drop that hammer, do so with snap caps loaded into the chambers to act as a buffer between the firing pin and the rim of the forcing cone. I had planned on a 2-part range session, one with standard .22 long rifle and one with .22 Magnum ammunition, starting first with .22 long rifle. And since I didn't feel that my usual indoor range would provide an adequate target distance to check out the capabilities of the long buntline barrel, my favorite outdoor range, the Clybell shooting range within the Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center, just a few miles below Mansfield, Georgia, would at least afford from 17 yards to 35 yards in which to exercise the firearm, and my capabilities with it. Today's fodder would be CCI 40 grain copper-plated round-nosed mini-mag for standard long rifle load testing, and CCI 30 grain maxi-mag 22 WMR HP plus V for magnum load testing. The differences in ammunition will probably dictate an adjustment of the rear sight for each shooting session. Although this is not my firearm, I did feel the need to adjust the sights to my eyes to eliminate using Kentucky windage. So, let me get rolling. I'll let you know what I am shooting when and make observations throughout the journey. The Chiappa Buntline is a reliable revolver for both beginners and experienced shooters. The manual extraction system ensures that all spent cartridges are ejected with ease and the revolver cycles smoothly without jamming when using high-quality ammunition. Now, there are pros and cons with the Chiappa Buntline single-action revolver. As for the pros, it is very affordable. This revolver provides excellent value for the money, especially considering its construction, performance, and iconic design. It has the classic single-action design. Single-action mechanism offers a traditional and satisfying shooting experience, ideal for those who enjoy historical firearms. It seems to be accurate and reliable. 12-inch barrel and adjustable rear sight provides good accuracy for a variety of uses, including target practice and small game hunting. The .22 long rifle caliber offers low recoil, making it an ideal choice for beginners and those looking for a fun, easy-to-shoot revolver. Shooting .22 Magnum ammunition does not change that equation by much. Weighing just 2 pounds, it's easy to carry and handle, making it a perfect choice for extended shooting sessions. The black Coat finish provides extra durability and a sleek modern look. And as for the cons, being a single-action revolver, manual extraction of spent cartridges may not be ideal for everyone, especially those accustomed to modern self-extracting revolvers. The plastic grips are functional, but may not have the same feel or aesthetic appeal as wooden grips, which some shooters might prefer for a more traditional look. The single-action trigger mechanism requires you to manually cock the hammer before each shot, which may not be ideal for shooters who prefer a double-action revolver for faster follow-up shots. With that said, Chiappa would make for a fine plinker and conversation starter at your local range, let alone make for a fine varmint eradicator. Well, my friends, that's about it for this review. I hope that you found it informative and will return for my next and past firearm reviews. Until we meet again, and I hope that we will, take care of yourself, stay vigilant, armed, and safe out there.